Daniel was born in the shadows of the city. He never knew who his parents were. The streets were his home, and hunger was his only companion. Every morning he walked through busy roads, collecting plastic bottles, pieces of cardboard, and hope in small pieces. At night, he slept under a broken streetlight. He'd watch other children walk past him in clean uniforms, laughing, carrying school bags, and he would whisper to himself, maybe one day, I'll go to school too. But dreams are expensive when you can't even afford bread. One afternoon, something happened that changed everything. As he searched through a trash can, Daniel found an old torn notebook. Its pages were stained and half missing, but inside were words, unknown symbols that looked like magic. That day, Daniel didn't collect plastic. He collected letters. Every night under that flickering streetlight, he copied the shapes he saw. A, B, C. He didn't know their meaning, but he believed each one was a key to a better life. Sometimes people laughed at him. Why are you wasting time? Go earn money, they said. But Daniel kept going. He used pieces of coal to write on walls. He read from thrown-away newspapers. He turned the street into his classroom. One day, while Daniel stood outside a school gate watching children read, a teacher noticed him. Why are you standing here? She asked. Daniel smiled shyly. Because I want to learn. The teacher was surprised. He had no papers, no guardians, no money. But he had something far greater, hunger for knowledge. She took his name and helped him join a small charity school nearby. At first, he couldn't even spell his name. But within months, Daniel became one of the best students in class. He studied during the day, worked at night, and never gave up. According to UNICEF, over 260 million children worldwide still don't go to school. Daniel could have been one of them, but he refused to accept that fate. He completed his basic education. Then he worked as a cleaner in the same school to pay his fees. Years later, he got a scholarship. He studied education, the very subject that once felt like a faraway dream. And then came the day he stood in front of a classroom. This time he was the teacher. He looked at the faces of the children sitting before him, some from slums, some from orphanages, some who used to beg just like him. He smiled and said, "Books changed my life. Now I'll use books to change yours." Daniel didn't build a fancy school. He built something bigger, a movement. He started teaching under a bridge, then in open parks, then in a small building funded by people who heard his story. He taught reading, writing, and believing. Today, his students include children who once worked on streets, who now dream of becoming doctors, engineers, and teachers like him. Daniel often says, "I was never poor. I just didn't have a chance. Education gave me that chance." And maybe that's what the world needs. Not just sympathy, but opportunity. So next time you see a child on the street, don't just look away. Remember Daniel, the street child who became a teacher, because you never know. The child you ignore today might be the one who changes tomorrow.